Can't believe I'm standing here 2 years later in the same position, only in a much worse financial position. The average small business is $190,000 in debt, and that is in the form of loans that have to be paid back, and not to mention the operating costs of opening and closing a small business for the fourth time. It's inconceivable that we're at this exact same spot we were in March 2 years ago. Having to tell your staff for the fourth time that they don't have work is the hardest thing I've ever had to do, and nothing that any of us should have to do at this point. The grants should have been in place, as Andrea said, immediately. And not only should they be in place, but the loopholes that denied a lot of small businesses those grants, such as typos. And in my case, we have 2 restaurants, and because we own them together, my husband and I equally, we were denied the grant at one of the restaurants because we were considered an enterprise. They're completely separate concepts, separate HST, separate rents. Everything is completely separate. So we had to choose which one of those restaurants would get the grant. They're both suffering equally, and we didn't get it, while $210 million went to people who didn't even qualify for it. That's disgusting. You've had many kicks at the can. You knew this was coming. This wasn't a 30-second decision that you made. It was forecasted and stable. It was forecasted by the media. It was forecasted by opposition leaders. You knew we were coming upon this moment, and you should have been ready, and you should be ashamed of yourself. Come to my restaurant and tell my staff why they don't have work in the slowest month of the year. I'm asking you to do that. Come and talk to them. Come and see the people that you're devastating over and over again. But you won't. You'll sit in your house. You'll sit in your nice office and do your press conferences and tell us that your heart breaks. Well, that doesn't pay the bills. And it doesn't pay the bills of the staff. So get off your duff and do something. Yesterday.
Thank you so much, Ginger, for those words. It really brings it home to so many Ontarians. Listen, small businesses have spent 2 exhausting years trying to stay afloat. And as Ginger said, most are in massive amounts of debt, on average $190,000. They have received insufficient supports and communication throughout this entire pandemic. They are vulnerable, as are the workers they employ. And Ontario's economic recovery actually depends on their survival. On December 17th, Doug Ford told them, looked them in the eye and told them he would not lock down again. On January 3rd, he announced a lockdown. For restaurants, the produce was already ordered. The staff schedules were already sent out. Ford gave businesses an insulting 48 hours notice. The program that Andrea Horvath and I and our team are laying out today is urgent. It cannot wait because these businesses have payrolls. They have bills coming due. One Toronto business told our local MPPs that they need financial support more than ever. Businesses need grants tailored to cover those losses, to keep those staff on the payroll, and to cover rent. They need the deferral of the HST payments because they have told us that they need cash in hand right now. A commercial eviction ban, which we have fought hard for, needs to be put in place so that they are not evicted during a pandemic. We know that Mr. Ford's last program was a calamity. He gave more than $210 million to corporations that didn't qualify and didn't need the help. He turned away real Ontario small businesses that needed a lifeline. And every MPP here at Queen's Park knows one of those businesses that were denied for no good reason. He gave businesses the same amount, whether they had 10 staff and a $15,000 per month rent that they couldn't cover, or virtually no losses at all. Ontario deserves better. This time, let's give local small and medium-sized businesses real help now. It is never too late to get it right. And when we support small businesses, we are supporting workers and local economies. Let's help the little guy instead of Ford's big box buddies. There is time for action, and that action is now.